Hi, my name is Courtney, and I am answering questions about my former life as a sex worker. I was an escort in Las Vegas for, I don't know, about 10 years or so, and I lived a double life until I had a spontaneous spiritual awakening called a Kundalini awakening, and that changed everything. I came clean. I told everybody that I decided to live an authentic life, embrace the period of time that I was a sex worker, because that was just all part of my divine purpose. I needed that to be where I am today or where I'm going in the future. So I wanted to be a sex worker from the time I was like in 6th grade, and I finally did around the time I was in my mid to late 30s. So I'm answering some questions about my sex work time. I'm not a sex worker anymore, and I will not be a sex worker anymore, because the way that I view energy and people and exchanging energies, I don't want to exchange energies anymore. The money was fantastic and something that I will miss, but there was a lot of good times in sex work for me. That is the question I'm answering today. What is it that made me like sex work? And at the time, I've done a lot of therapy and a lot of psilocybin, and I had really broke through my trauma and had a spiritual awakening. So I'm completely a different person, but I love all forms of me, right? And that has taken a lot of work to get there, but I embrace that period of my life and am grateful and thankful for that period and those lessons, just as I am for, spending the time in nature and not in the hotel room of somebody in Las Vegas. But what did I like? Oh my God, the luxury of it, like the amazing meals and dinners and cocktails and being pampered and having gifts and having a wish list and having people send me things. And I think they were probably all peacocking, like they all wanted to have sex with me that were sending me gifts. And it was just, I can send you something shiny and pretty, and then you'll pay attention to me. And I miss that immensely. And I don't miss it because I've had a whole thing with commercialism and materialism, and I'm pretty much a hippie, and I don't need a lot of shiny baubles to make me happy. But being that I no longer make $600 an hour and I've exhausted my savings, it sure would be nice to have those gifts again and have that pampering and have somebody send me money to be like, hey, why don't you go get a pedicure? And I guess, that part was cool. That part was so cool. I loved the gifts. And I never got anything super, super, super extravagant. I know a lot of girls post, Chanel bags and Louis Vuitton bags and this and that, blah, 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 blah. And I never got those, but I think it might have been just because that's the person I am. My wish list had dog treats and tea on it because I just felt like getting the things that I was going to buy myself was income. Anyway, that I do miss. I think that getting money in an envelope became a kink to me. Having money on a dresser was a mating call. It was really such a rush to go in to a hotel dressed to the nines, have somebody worship me, my body, and then go home with a lot of cash. Yeah, that was good. But I was also a very broken person, and I'm not that broken person anymore. And at the time, it was fine and it was okay. And honestly, I never thought I would quit. Why would I? I enjoyed that lifestyle. But things changed for me. They didn't change because I wanted them to. That's how legit a spontaneous awakening is. It will change everything in your life. And it has. It's changed everything in my life. I wouldn't go back to those days, because my values are a lot different. I don't want a lot of things. I don't want a lot of brands, but I definitely miss the income. And honestly, if we were to ask me this question in a year, it would probably be different because my circumstances are going to be different. I mean, I'm coming out of being a realtor. I'm not that anymore. I'm coming out of being an escort. I'm not that anymore. And I'm like in this metamorphosis stage where I'm not quite who I am yet. And, so I'm not quite where I want to be. And I'm not quite where I was. And it's easy to look back and be like, man, I made some good ass money. But it's all changing and it's all progressing and it's all getting better and I'm evolving. So at one point I probably will be like, yeah, that was fun. And I will always think it's fun. Yeah, it taught me a lot and I'm thankful that I was, and I'm not ashamed of it. I think it's funny that I decided to live my life authentically and come clean about my life, and people are shocked and want to talk about it behind my back, and I'm like, well, why are we talking about it behind my back? I'm right here, let's talk about it. And yeah, so that's it. I think what most people probably don't realize is everybody knows a sex worker. They may just not be out front with it. But when you live authentically, you realize that you need to live your life regardless of what people think, and that's what I'm doing. So I don't care if you think that I'm this, that, or the other because I was a sex worker. It was my journey, and you don't need to understand it. Okay, have a great day. Bye.